Let's go ahead and install the dishwasher. We're going to have to drill a hole to get the plumbing, the part that needs to plug in here. But before we do that, we're going to wire this in to direct wire in order to plug it in, but it did not come with a 120 for the US. So I took the other one off, the older one, made sure it matched. Then we've got the instructions. This is actually the Whirlpool model. This is not the IKEA brand that they had in their store. We wanted something more in line to what we were accustomed to. Plug on there? Yeah, it does. So that's an extension from where we're at. Before we deal with where that's going to plug into, it shows how to direct wire it. We're not going to direct wire. We're going to use this 120. And so we're going to go ahead and get it hooked up, and then we'll get it plugged in. 1/4 inch socket. I didn't have a screwdriver that would fit in there. Now this box that's here, this electrical box, we could have faced this up, taken it off, but then this is going to be behind us. And just going to make it really difficult to get things wired up. All right, this came off of another washer, but it still has that little connection here. So our first step is to run this through and snap that into place. Sorry, I still had my bit on there. That's what fell off. And our first step in this process is to take this green ground, and this thing under here has a bracket. We're going to wrap that around, and then we're going to run that bracket down, tighten it down super tight, and that'll ground it out. Make sure that ground wire's in there. Yeah, it's caught up in there. Good. Clockwise, thread that down. And then this is going to thread on clockwise, spin that same direction. There we go. That seems to have captured it pretty well. All right, yeah, that's on there good. Same thing here. We're going to take black to black. And we're going to take that and spin it on. Make sure I'm going clockwise here. Yeah. So I'm going to go clockwise with that. Take my connection and spin that on clockwise. I'm just spinning it the same direction this connection is threading down. That's all I'm doing. The way I put it on and the way I thread these down are going in the same direction. All right, let's see if that's got a good, yeah, that's good. And now we have that wired up. All right, so make sure all the wiring is within there. We're going to take that screw and place it in. All right, finally found a combination that would kind of fit up in there. Socket and extension. All right, I think we're locked in there. That feels pretty good. I think the easiest thing for us to do is to drill a hole in this back piece, run this down through it, because trying to go through the wall over here, I had a 12-inch cabinet on the other side, so if we drill a hole in the wall, we had to drill a hole in the cabinet, so we can't do that. So I don't know that we really have to do an exact measurement on where that's going to be, just as long as we're far enough from any of the legs that are going to go in there, and we have a direct route. So I think I'm going to drill right there. There we go. All right. So we got that drilled in. Go ahead and clean that. The DAP, the quick seal, and you want to make sure all this is cleaned out so that you don't have any of that sawdust in there, and then you're just going to run that in. I like this stuff here underneath the sink because I can run that. I'm going to have to run it in by hand anyway, and it's hard to get that caulk gun in here, and so I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger so I don't waste any, I don't drop any, and I'm going to run a thin layer between what we bought. So it's an 8-inch. We didn't need it that long, but I couldn't find any shorter. And this is a tail piece with a 7/8 branch, and this is for your dishwasher to feed into. You can get one a little bit smaller than that, but we needed this larger 7/8 attachment. And we're over just a little bit, not much, but we're over just a little bit, our pop is. So I'm going to try to use this and move it around so that these will sync up. And I think that's going to work for us. We'll test it out and see if it leaks at all. So I don't think that has that splash guard, so we could have water come out if we test it right now. So let's go ahead and get that run up there. All right, so that's kind of how I want it. I pulled that all the way through. I'm just pulling out the rest from underneath so we can reach to the dishwasher. So I'm going to try to support it with my hand. And that should be tight enough because, like I said, this is plastic. You don't want to break it. So I'm running it right now, and I don't see any water splashing out or leaking from anywhere. So I think we're good. So I'm going to see if that smaller end will run in there. Yeah, it will, just barely, but it will run in there. And then I'm going to bend that so it goes in the direction that the dishwasher is going to go. There we go. Still got the plastic on it, so I'm going to prop this bad boy up. We will level those legs out. So this piece is going to go here, but I need that connection. I've got this thing out. I'm just going to make sure that plug is getting power. Looks good. Just don't want that stuff sticking out. And we're still going to have to mount this dishwasher into the countertop. It looks like we need to tilt that, and that'll allow us to kind of snap that in. And then we're going to bend these up so that we can use them to mount. So this is the way I bend them, because that's going to allow us to have enough room to mount that in, push it back in place, and still get to that screw, I think. Yeah, right there. We can mount that bad boy just like that. So I'm going to use that 7/64 bit just to tap it, just to get it started. Just tap. There it is. There we go. We got that one in. Now we'll do the next. So open that bad boy up. And I'm going to go ahead and cut these off, and we're going to go ahead and do a quick wash. Just let's see if we have any kind of leaks pop up. So opening that up. So we're going counterclockwise to open. Should have complete flow now. And this should return any water from the dishwasher. That should give it water when it's first cleaning. We don't want this to leak and warp the wood or get into the wood. So always have some sort of backup until you're confident after a couple of weeks of use that you have no leaks. And it's not a bad idea to leave one of these in just in case in the future you spring a leak, maybe it'll catch the majority of the water. An idea of how well this washer functions, because we have hard water. It says open here, so that's open. Throw our detergent in, and we push that back shut. Snaps into place. Make sure that's closed. Let's go ahead and go start. Now we're all set up, so we'll start working on this side of the kitchen now.